What's going on behind the thrillers? You tune into a very special edition where we are on location
with Scott. I don't remember how to pronounce your last name.
Gasparich.
We are actually at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg for Howl-O-Scream 2009, and we've got VP of Entertainment,
Yep.
Scott Gasparich. Thanks so much for joining us, Scott.
No problem.
So, Jack is back.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Jack.
Jack of the Lantern actually comes from Ireland folklore. So when we put in Ireland in 2001, we created the character Jack. And Jack's main purpose is to trick the guests and to entertain guests in the streets during our Jack is Back show, which happens multiple times every evening of Howl-O-Scream. So Jack's become quite an icon for us for Howl-O-Scream, kind of the spokesperson of Howl-O-Scream, if you will.
Do you guys see yourself venturing into any other characters? Like, well, I know your sister party down in Tampa. They've done different characters throughout the years. This year they have Miss Vane running the show.
Correct, right. Tampa's strategy is a different character each year to be the spokesperson for their park. We have stuck with Jack. He works very well for us. Guests know in this region that when Jack peeks his head out every year, that's definitely time for Howl-O-Scream. So Jack's our main spokesperson, but we have introduced other characters to a lesser degree throughout the park and the attractions.
What are some of those characters?
Some of those characters, we have kind of a troll king, if you will, for Cavern of Darkness. You'll see him out on the streets this evening. We have a phantom character up by Catacombs up in our France village of Aquitaine. We also have a werewolf and a Frankenstein character over in Oktoberfest.
Awesome.
All right, what is some of the stuff that goes into it? I know that we just walked through Cavern of Darkness with my son, and fairly well done house, extremely dark. What is some of the stuff that goes into when you sit down? Okay, what did we do this year?
Right. Well, we sit down and we try to pick a theme that's going to work with our European, brand here in Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. So the countries play a huge role in what we choose. Also, the venues that we're going to go into lend themselves to certain mazes or a certain design. And then we take the theatrical approach like we would with anything. We do lighting, we do sound, we do sets, costumes, props, scenery. All of those elements play a huge role for us here in developing the mazes.
All right. When it comes to, I know last year a lot of my friends who came to this area, this is my first time coming to this one, but I'm a veteran of course, Halloween Horror Nights. I'm a veteran of Howl-O-Scream in Tampa, and one thing that everybody frowns on there is kids. We do not want kids here.
Right.
If you bring kids, we're going to scare them. I notice a lot of kids here. What is your stance? I know last year you guys were more of a family-friendly atmosphere. What are you this year?
I still say that we're family-friendly. I would not bring children out to Howl-O-Scream. That's a little too scary. Very young children. But we do have Forest of Fun that we've decorated for the season. We have the Count's Halloween Spectacular little show over there on the stage. So we do offer something for the children throughout the day. Many parents bring younger children through the mazes. We have a policy in place that the characters know when to scare and when not to scare if they see children in the mazes. So we kind of cater to that as they go through.
See, that is not the case in like Howl-O-Scream in Tampa.
Right.
We're going to scare them.
Right.
When they cry, we're going to scare them more.
And then we're going to scare them some more on top of that.
And we're going to make sure that we send them to therapy. So you know that you're not supposed to bring them here. But, well, for perfect example, my daughter is over there napping on the table because we've been here forever. She's walking through, we walked through the Pompeii tour, which I thought was very cool that you guys did during the day. You give kind of like a taste of what it's going to be without all the characters in place. Cavern of Darkness, same kind of deal. You guys have that open from noon until 5:30.
Right.
And without the characters in place, just so they can get like an atmospheric feel of what it's going to be like. And she was just petrified going through Pompeii.
Really?
Yeah. But she's one of those type of kids that really gets herself worked up, and I know that a lot of kids are like that, which is why I really applaud you guys for doing that. That way parents can get an idea, get a feel of what they're doing, and how their kids are going to behave through it.
Right. And we definitely wanted to open those experiences during the day so kids can kind of tip their toe into what we offer in the evening and kind of grow into Howl-O-Scream, if you will, through the years. We leave the lights on. We don't have the sounds running per se like we would in the evening. And there are no characters. It's more of an operational walkthrough experience, if you will. So Cavern of Darkness, maybe a little bit more intense, if you will, than Pompeii is during the day. But we definitely then in the evening jazz it up, if you will.
And I noticed that you guys have started jazzing it up a little bit when we walked through. They had a couple of characters going through, and I took my 12-year-old son Clifton through it. Scared the pants off of him, but he wants to go through again. Well, that was scary, yeah, but this is during the day.
Right.
They're going to add more during the night? Yeah. Oh, we got to go back.
Right.
So
I think a big approach into the maze is even the atmosphere we do outside of the maze. And in the evening, you'll see this evening, there's a lot of lighting and fog that comes from that area. There's a lot of plants and dense vegetation that you walk through, and in the evening, it gives it a whole new light. And then you come in from the darkness into even more darkness, which really celebrates the theme of Cavern of Darkness. Daytime, you're outside in the daylight, and you're kind of adjusted to daylight, and then you go through. So it's a little different experience in the evening.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about shows. You guys have Jack is Back, Monster Stomp revamped.
Correct.
With a emphasis on the revamp.
Right. The revamped comes from Monster Stomp actually joined us many years ago as a product over in the New France area of the park, and we made a decision to move that indoors so we could operate it during the day and create more of a theatrical approach to Monster Stomp. So revamped comes from the fact that that product was moved from another location and really changed to an indoor venue.
Okay. And what are some of the other shows that you guys have going on?
This year we've introduced a new product called Frankenrock over in the Fest House. It's very much a party kind of atmosphere. Characters as rock stars, if you will, Frank leading the way, witches and vampires and other characters as well. Just fun, tongue-in-cheek music from the 90s. They just have a lot of fun dance. We do the Time Warp, do the Monster Mash with kids. So it's a very family-oriented show.
And of course, Jack is Back. We've already talked about Monster Stomp, Frankenrock. What else do you guys have?
The other thing we did this year is something unique. Over in Italy, we're doing Movies of the Macabre, which is taking 1920s black and white films, horror films, and putting them into a setting for the guests to sit down, enjoy a meal, and just really not have to think about it very much and watch some black and white movies.
What kind of movies are you guys throwing in there?
There's Nosferatu.
Yes.
Is over there. Jekyll and Hyde, in the cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Very nice. Now, are you guys running the whole film?
No, they're edited down versions. The originals are 2 and some hours. These have been edited at 30 to 40 minutes, taking the best pieces of those films and creating something for the guest.
Now, Jekyll and Hyde, did you run the silent versions, or?
They're all silent versions with the orchestrated, music underscore. And
I saw that you guys were doing that, and I was kind of, not really shocked, but I was kind of taken back by it, that, wow, here's somebody that actually gets it. You guys, Movies of the Macabre, that's why we have Halloween events, because the movies really have started it all. The movies really feed into everything. And without the big interest in the movies, such as all the monsters, like your Nosferatu, one of the very, very earliest scary movies and monster movies out there, you wouldn't have all these great haunts and events.
Right.
So, very good. Oh, and there goes Jack's back. I don't know if you guys can hear it.
Jack's back.
That is awesome. What's that?
It is the first show, yeah.